Hey guys, Prank Chaos from Team Chaos Stream here today, bringing you guys another video today, and this time we are taking a look at my Prank Kids Calamities build in celebration of Prank Week. If you guys aren't on my main channel, The Haver Card Man, go check it out. Links are down in the description. You guys can follow up with the rest of Prank Week there and get kind of more of an idea what that is, or if you're following me on Twitter at Haverman, you can check out all the updates there and actually see what's going on. So today we're going to be taking a look at several different replays. I had 5 in total of my Prank Kids Calamities build, and basically the deck is just, it's a 2-card Prank Kids combo that allows you to go into Calamities, as well as still having normal Prank Kids combo, so you can get your Calamities out, and then if you get like a Thunder Dragon Fusion, you can do a Battle Butler and get a double Raigeki on top of it. So if your opponent can still somehow play through the Calamities, you have a way to disrupt them, and it's not just like a Turbo Calamities and your turn's over sort of deal. This is just a, it's really fun. It takes a lot of setup, but I think it's really fun to do with the deck, and it's hilarious just knowing that Prank Kids can make true Kinwall Calamities. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into a couple of these replays here. So, starting off with the first one, our matchup is going to be against Heroes, actually. So, we're going to open up here. We're going to go Fansies into Meow Meow, use Fansies effect to dump the plan, special summon Dropsies, go to the Dodo, use Dropsies and Dodo effect, be able to add the Pranks to our hand and the Roxies to field. The Pranks is actually what allows us to go into the Calamities. You either need 2 Prank Kids monsters, a Prank Kids monster and a Polymerization, or a Prank Kids monster and Prank Kids Pranks to go into this combo, or Prank Kids Place. You could also have Prank Kids Place. So going off here, so we got our Dodo on field, we got Roxies on field. We're going to go ahead and fuse now the Lampsies in our hand and the Roxies on field for the Rocket Ride. Get Roxies and Lampsies effect, chain link block with Rocket Ride there. Get out our Fansies from deck, be able to draw into another Lampsies, get a Dropsies. So what actually allows this deck to be able to go into Calamities is the fact that we can match enough attributes that we can go into a Union Carrier and be able to equip a Union Driver from deck, which then the Union Driver from there will allow us to equip a Torque Tune Gear, which can special summon itself, and he's a tuner, so it can go into normal Halkifibrax plays. And then you have Rocket Ride over here to be able to bounce back some materials, so you can use it for summons later on. So you go through your normal lane cross shenanigans, going up into the Metal Marcher, bringing back the Plague Spider, going into Barricade Board Blocker. I'm going to use the Pranks here to get an extra token, so I have the material for a Trishula to kind of clean up my field. So then that way I can go to the Auroradon, get my 3 tokens, be able to tribute 2 of them, and summon the Colt Wing from deck, who becomes a level 7 thanks to having a level 3 token on the field. We'll summon back the Plague Spreader, use that to go into our Croco Dragon Archithus, draw a card, and go to the Calamities. Use our Rocket Ride to summon back Dodo and Fansies. Since we already have the Lampsies in hand, we can just use the Dodo to add back the plan and the Dropsies. Unfortunately, we weren't thinking ahead, we didn't send the Pandemonium to graveyard. Otherwise, we would have had Battle Butler set up, but off of the Pranks, we were able to draw a Thunder Dragon Fusion anyways, so we have Battle Butler next turn, so we're fine anyways. So here is going to normal summon the Vion, go for the Poly. I accidentally activated Calamities a little bit late. I did not do it in the draw step like I was supposed to. I misclicked, so I ended up doing it in response to the Vion activation, so they were able to get the Polymerization. Well, they had it in hand. They were able to dump to their graveyard, but they weren't able to banish for the Polymerization off of Vion. So they were able to go with the Polymerization and go into the Sunriser, and then throw out a Neos Fusion to go out into Rainbow Neos. Realized he couldn't attack, so he passed turn, and he's thinking he's safe here because I don't have a way to out his Rainbow Neos right away, so I pull out the Battle Butler to surprise him, use the Tribute effect to try to pop his cards. Of course, he uses the Neos Fusion to protect his Rainbow Neos, but that's fine, because now I can just go through like normal Prank Kids combo, and be able to send the Battle Butler actually back to my extra deck and be able to still summon it, because all I gotta do here is just Pandemonium these 2 guys away to get my Rocket Ride, so I can get those tribute effect, or those special summon effects. I can special summon the Lampsies from deck, and then now I can tribute the Dodo to add, well, after I do the Rocket Ride, I can bring back the Fansies, and then the Dodo, I can tribute Dodo to add Pandemonium and the Battle Butler back to the extra deck, so now I can Pandemonium with the 3 cards I have, bring out the Battle Butler, and open up enough damage for game after I was able to destroy his Neos Fusion, and he scoops before I even get into attack phase. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to game 2. Alright, so game 2 here, this one kind of sucked a little bit. This one was against Lair of Darkness, and it was a very rough and long matchup. I ended up losing this one, but let's go ahead and see it anyways, just to see how this deck plays through Disruption, because we faced off against some of it here. So, first turn actually went off pretty much uninterrupted. Like, there was obviously nothing they could do to really disrupt us. They didn't have anything to be able to stop us here, so we'll just go off their normal combo like we did last time and still be able to get into Calamities. It is a little bit different because we didn't open up the Polymerization, but we have access to the Pranks, so we can at least use that. So I guess, in all honesty, you really just need 2 Prank Kids card, one of which needs to be access to a Prank Kids monster, the other one can be any Prank Kids card, because you can just pitch it off of pranks and get your tokens. So we're going to do the normal needle fiber combos, get a Plague Spreader, go on Link Cross, summon on the 2 tokens. We'll pull out that Martial Metal Marcher, special summon back to Plague Spreader, and from here be able to go into the Barricade Board Blocker, then the Auroradon, special summon our 3 tokens, tribute 2 of them, get our Colt Wing from deck, so that now we can, of course, go into the Plague Spreader and get the normal Calamities combo, not even a big deal. So Plague Spreader, Crocodile Dragon, and we'll be able to add back that Pandemonium to hand. And then we can go that, and then we still have the Thunder Dragon Fusion in hand, so we can get our Battle Butler at the end of the turn, and use our Prank Kids Place to give everything an attack boost. So Prank Kids Pranks at the end of the turn, shuffle back 3 cards, and draw a Lampsies. So we have an Effect Veiler, a Calamities, and a Battle Butler to be able to disrupt our opponent, activate the Calamities right away, calling Dark. Doesn't really matter, though, because they're just a control deck. They're just going to kaiju away our Calamities, which is fine. We'll pop their monster on field. He's going to Monster Reborn to try to bring back my Calamities. We'll use our second pop to get rid of it. Unfortunately, I hated to have to waste it, but it is what it is. So I'll go on the next turn. He's going to hit us right away with the Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and call spells. So we're effectively screwed now because most of our strategy relied on that. So we don't really have much of anything to back us up. We're going to set the Fansies and just pass turn. So I'll get a token here from the Lair of Darkness. And so they're just going to set the Dark Spirit Art Greed and play their Wolf, get rid of the Gamma Seal, and they're going to plan to attack into the Fansies. We're just going to recycle some resources here and deal some damage. And we'll be able to go off with Prank Kids combo again next turn. But the Lair of Darkness disruption is really going to suck because, well, I mean, he can just tribute off our monster. So he's going to tribute off our monster with Lair of Darkness and draw 2 cards. And we'll still get combo here, but it's not going to be enough to really save us the game, especially with our limited extra deck space. We used our last Link monster on the Bow Wow, and all we have left is Pandemonium in hand. So there's really not much hope for us left. And we actually had to get rid of the Pandemonium thanks to the Roxys. So we were kind of screwed, especially once I blocked the Link arrows on Bow Wow Bark for the Parallel Exceed because I didn't expect to draw into it. So that was kind of a misplay on my end here. They're going to go into their Malice, Lady of Lament, tribute off my Bow Wow to get themselves the Eradicator Epidemic Virus again. They're really just loving to control our board and control our spell cards. They really don't want us to draw spells. I think mostly for that Dark Spirit Art Greed because we can negate it if we reveal a spell card, so that makes sense. So he's going to make us dump our Thunder Dragon Fusion of the Graveyard, which we're going to tribute off for Parallel Exceed to get another one from deck. Just kind of building up a wall here because we realize that Lair of Darkness will summon his tokens at the end of the turn. So we're really, at this point, just trying to defend ourselves and building up as much of a wall as we can. So we got 5 monsters on field to kind of help save us a little bit. They got the Ash and the Into the Void. They're going to go in Dark Spirit Art Greed to get rid of our Fansies and then attack into our Parallel Exceed. They'll get a token, pass back to us, and really at this point, there's not really much other interaction in this game. I don't really get to do a whole lot of anything. This guy is pretty effective at controlling my board with that Lair of Darkness, tributing stuff on my field every turn, and also being able to control the fact that I can't draw into spell cards. So really, that's just kind of game. I do end up calling it here after a while. It just takes a little bit of time. So I'm just going to go ahead and call the replay here because really there's no point in going on. You can see where this is going. This man's got a ton of advantage and is just keeping my board as clear of combo pieces as possible. So let's go ahead and move on to the next replay. Alright, so this next matchup is actually our first stab against mutants, and we are going first again, which is super awesome. I think it was actually only one game that I had to go second, so we're going to go Rock Season on the Meow Meow, get hit by the Effect Veiler on the Meow Meow. I don't know why you'd waste that negation, but it's fine. Go off in a normal Prank Kids combo, setting up for the Calamities here. We just got to make sure that we match attributes by the end of the combo line, so we're going to use the Dropsies to pull out the Fansies from deck with the Bow Wow Bark, and we'll just fusion summon the Bow Wow Bark and the Rocket Ride, so that now we can get our Lampsies to field, use our Pranks to discard the other Fansies to get a Pyro token, which we can use with our Lampsies to go into Union Carrier. So then from there, Union Carrier can go to the Union Driver, go into the Torque Tune Gear, and to get another monster on field, actually, we're going to tribute off the Rocket Ride to get our Fansies and Bow Wow Bark. We use the Fansies as link material for the Halqifibrax. We're at the Plague Spreader, going Link Cross, normal shenanigans. Unfortunately, we do end up having to banish the Bow Wow Bark off of Trishula because I wasn't thinking ahead. I should have just summoned another, like a Lampsies or a Dropsies, because those I could recycle back with Thunder Dragon Fusion. But I didn't really think ahead in terms of a grind game. Thankfully, in this matchup, it didn't really matter too much. So we'll go into the Auroradon, be able to get our Cult Wing. I had to summon out the Plague Spreader a little bit early because I didn't want the Cult Wing to summon tokens. Otherwise, we would not have had access to the Plague Spreader. So we're ending on the Calamities with an Auroradon, a Mechaphantomese token, and Pranks, and then we have an Ash and an Effect Veiler in hand, as well as a Thunder Dragon Fusion. So we're going to hit the Calamities. They're going to try to respond to the Emergency Teleport. We'll hit the Ash. They're going to set 3 pass. So we have the Thunder Dragon Fusion. We're going to open up the Dropsies. He's going to hit the Trap Trick to bring out the Mutant Cry, try to Fusion Summon. We're going to go to the Meow Meow. He'll hit that with the Solemn Strike. He does have another Solemn Strike set, but he sees the Thunder Dragon Fusion and decides to just scoop. He totally could have saved himself right there, but at the same time, I think he would have inflicted enough damage upon himself that we could have just attacked for game. So it didn't really matter much, and that is the end of that game. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Alright, in game 4 here, I'm not really sure what this deck was supposed to be, but I'm noticing Constellars, there's Fire Formation Tanky, Rhoda, so it's a really interesting conglomeration. I'm guessing it was just some kind of, okay, so Constellars are beasts, so it's probably just a Constellar deck, but this one we actually do end up going first against still, going to the Roxy's Meow Meow play again as usual, banishing the Torque-2 Gear off of it, because we have 2 in the deck for this very reason, and because we also don't want to brick with it, so we might as well make sure we at least got 1 of the deck for Union Driver. So going into the standard Prank Kids combo as per usual to get into the Union Carry, going Union Driver. We do also have the Pranks in hand, so we are able to discard our Pandemonium off of that and get our token to be able to go into the Hulk Fibrax plays and summon out our Plague Spreader and just do normal Calamity stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't have the normal Prank Kids Extender like we usually do, but I think sitting on a Calamities and double Ash is not too bad, especially against such a rogue deck like Constellars. They didn't really stand much of a chance, and I kind of feel bad. I feel pretty toxic for it, but at the same time, you know, I did what I had to do, and I think it was worth it. So I had a lot of fun testing this deck out, so we're going to go into the Croc Dragon here, get the Roxy's back, go into the Trishula Calamities, and on Calamities Auroradon. Go ahead and shuffle back some stuff that are pranks, hopefully, and we draw another Dropsies. So not another hand trap, sadly, but it is what it is. They didn't have anything to stop our Calamities, so their Fire Information Tanky is going to get hit with the Ash. They follow up with the Rhoda. Doesn't really do much to them. They just set one Stellar Monster and a Solemn Strike, and that's all they have. So we're going to go Roxy's and Meow Meow, and then we'll go ahead and banish off of that, get into our Doodle-Doo, because we can easily set up here to go into a Battle Butler, since we do have the Polymerization in hand, so we are going to go ahead and go that way here. And from there, we'll get the Battle Butler out, combo off, get some more materials out on field. And we will actually end up linking into a Bow Wow Bark here to give our Battle Butler some points. We'll use our Auroradon to blow up their back row, which I'm surprised they hadn't used prior. And then we just go ahead and swing in for game with the Calamities and the Battle Butler. So, alright, I believe we got one more game here. Let's go ahead and get into that, and then we will be done. Alrighty, so the 5th and final game here, we are going against Security Force. And this one was actually kind of a rough matchup. This is the one game where we end up going second, and it's the one we didn't really want to go second against. Security Force actually has a fairly decent matchup against Prank Kids, and they were able to do a lot in terms to kind of keep us in check. Not only that, but they also have the double hand trap with the Ash and the Ghost Ogre in hand, which you'll see later does come into play and really screws us over. So pulling out his normal Security Force monsters. I don't know if you guys have seen this combo yet. I'm still new to the deck myself, but we're going to see if we can play past this. We're going to go ahead and go into Roxy's. He's going to use his Security Force stuff to make sure that everything that we summon gets banished as soon as it leaves the field because of their Gravitino, which is actually a very powerful card and is going to be very effective in this meta, I believe. So he's going to hit the Ghost Ogre on the Pranks after hitting the Ash on the Roxy's and just kind of stops our combo altogether. We're going to go into the Hulk Fibrax, and it's just not really going to be able to do anything. There's not really any further we can go past Link Cross into Metal Marcher with Torque-2 Gear and being able to just summon it back and go into the Trishula. Like, there's nothing else we can do. Realize that I put it in the wrong zone because he has double Platina on field, so I'm not able to actually beat over his Gravitino, and I just scoop because I realize he's got too much advantage, and there's just no way to keep up with it. So let's go ahead and jump into the deck. Alright, and here is the Prank Kids Calamities list. It's pretty box standard for terms of Prank Kids engine, and then of course just throwing in the Calamities engine on top of it. It takes up so much extra deck space though that it really makes it hard to play Prank Kids, because you're only getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actual Prank Kid slots. The other 9 all go to Calamities Turbo, so it is very limiting on what the deck can do. But in a game that's so fast paced, where most games only last 1 or 2 turns, it's perfect against combo matchups. But if you're playing against like just like a control deck like we did with Lair of Darkness or Security Force. It's a really hard matchup because it can't keep up the grind the same way as just standard prank kids do. So in terms of having to recommend between this and normal prank kids, I'd have to say normal prank kids all the way, or even some of their variant of prank kids. But this is a really fun build. I had a lot of fun messing with it. Calamities definitely needs to be banned. He's the only reason that this specific version of the deck can see success. And just because of how broken this card is, he definitely needs to be gone. So thank you guys for joining in today. I hope you enjoyed these Prank Kids Calamities replays. This was a really interesting deck to build. It was very challenging to try to figure out ways to make it work, but once I figured out the Union Carrier, Union Driver, Tortoon Gear combo, it became no trouble at all to figure out. The only issue was trying to get the extra monster on field, which I did eventually sort out. So thank you guys for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and check out my personal channel as well to be there for the rest of the celebration for Prank Week. This is coming out on Friday, so I've already released 4 other Prank Kids celebration sort of segments, and I still got 2 more to come, so be sure to go check those out and enjoy. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in today, and I hope to see you all next time. Remember to have fun and make your move. Peace out.
I'm a love giver.